Hello students, today we will see chapter number 3, which is current electricity. In that we will see potential and potential difference, conductors and insulators, electrical resistance and Ohm's law, connection of resistors and effective resistance. So let us start the chapter. Electricity is of utmost importance in the modern world. We depend on it for almost everything in our day-to-day life. In order to avoid the inconvenience faced due to failure of power supply, hospitals, banks, offices, and private institutions make alternative arrangements with the help of generators. Electricity is used for running electric furnaces, electric motors, and several other instruments used in industries. Domestic appliances like a fridge, electronic oven, mixer, fans, washing machines, vacuum cleaner, roti maker, etc. have helped us by saving time and labor. All these devices cannot be run without electricity. You all know that all devices runs on the electricity. Not only human beings but some animals also use electricity. For example, fishes such as eels use electricity to catch their prey and also for self-defense. The lightning that strikes the earth is an excellent example of natural flow of electricity. What if we could collect and store this electricity? You must have seen a waterfall. Which way does the water flows? For the generation of electricity, water is released from a dam at the higher level and because of gravity it falls to the lower level. Thus, as we know, the direction of flow of water between 2 points depend on the level of 2 points. Now we will see what is potential and potential difference. Now for that there is one very easy and nice experiment that you can do at your home. For that equipments required are 2 plastic bottles, a rubber tube, clamp and water. Now procedure is set up the experiment as shown in the figure 3.1. You can see in the diagram that same setup you will have to do. Then remove the clamp from the rubber tube. Note down your observation and answer the following question. There are 3 questions that you will have to answer. Just like water, the flow of electric charge between 2 points depend on a kind of electric level at those points. This level is called electric potential. A positive charge flows from a point of higher potential to the point of lower potential. We have seen earlier that electricity flows due to the conduction of negatively charged electrons. Electrons flow from the point of lower potential to a point of higher potential. A lightning strikes is the flow of electrons from point of lower negative potential on the clouds to the points of higher, that means zero potential, on the earth. We shall study the definition of electric potential in higher standards. Now the difference between the values of potential at 2 points A and B is called the potential difference between them. Now you can see the diagram. In figure 3.2, conductor A is at higher potential than conductor B. When these two are connected by conducting wire, the potential difference is created between its two ends, and electrons will flow from B to A through the wire. This flow will continue until the two conductors A and B have the same potential, that is until their potential difference becomes 0. Only then will the flow of electrons stop. You can see in the diagram there is A and B, positive and negatively charged, and conducting wire is there. Work has to be done against the electric field to take a positive charge from a point of lower potential to the point of higher potential. Now potential differences of the cell. The difference in potential between the positive and negative terminals of a cell is the potential difference of that cell. This potential difference is caused by chemical reaction occurring inside the cell. The potential difference sets the electrons in motion and result in the flow of electricity through the conducting wire connected to the two end of the cell. The amount of work done to carry a unit positive charge from point A to point B is called electric potential difference between the 2 points. Now potential difference between 2 points is equal to work upon total charge transferred. The potential difference is denoted by V, work is denoted by W, and charge is denoted by Q. So V is equal to 1 J, that means 1 joule upon 1 coulomb. The unit of potential difference is in SI system is volt. Now an introduction to scientist. The Italian scientist Alessandro Volta constructed the first electric cell. The unit of potential difference is named volt in his honor. Volta's simple electric cell. You can see in the diagram this is a simple electric cell made by the scientist Volta. Now very small values of potential difference are expressed in following units. First one is 1 millivolt and the value is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 volt. 1 micro unit, that symbol is called as a micro unit, which is equal to 10 raised to minus 6 volt. Now large values of potential differences are expressed in the following units. 1 kV, that means 1 kilovolt, is equal to 10 raised to 3 volt, and 1 megavolt is equal to 10 raised to 6 volt, and 1 megavolt is equal to 10 raised to 6 volt. You can see here the convergence. Now we will see the free electrons. Every atom of a metallic conductor has one or more outermost electron which are very weakly bound to the nucleus. These are called free electrons as shown in the figure 3.3. You can see the diagram over here. You can see the nucleus is there and that electrons which are free to learn. These electrons are free to move anywhere. Now you can see in the diagram nucleus is there and these electrons are free electrons. These are free to move throughout that compound. These electrons can easily move from one part of a conductor to its other parts. The negative charge of the electrons also get transferred as a result of this motion. The free electrons in a conductor are the carriers of negative charge. Now you can see in this diagram there are free electrons which are freely moved. Now current flowing through a wire. As shown in the figure 3.4a, you can see this diagram. In that first diagram, the electrons are in any direction. As shown in the figure 3.4a, if a conducting wire is not connected to a cell, its free electrons move randomly in all directions in the space between the atoms. When we connect the end of the wire to the two terminals of the cell, electric force acts on the electrons. Being negatively charged, they start moving from negative to the positive terminal of the cell, as shown in the figure 3.4b. You can see in the second diagram that electric cell is connected over there and electrons are start moving. Due to the flow of these electrons, current starts to flow through the wire. This motion of electrons is irregular, but there is a definite non-zero value of their average velocity. You can see in the diagram. Now we'll see the electric current. An electric current is the flow of electrons through a conductor. Quantitatively, current I is defined as the charge passing through the conductor in unit time. You can see here if charge q is flowing through cross section of a conductor in time t, then current, which is denoted by I, is equal to q upon t. The unit of charge in SI unit is coulomb, which is denoted by capital C. Current is expressed in ampere, which is denoted by capital A. The charge of one electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Even though electrons move from negative end to positive end, conventionally the direction of current flow is taken to be opposite direction of the flow of electrons, that is from positive end to negative end. Now we'll see the ampere. 1 ampere current is said to be flow in a conductor if 1 coulomb charge flows through it every second. You can see here 1 ampere is equal to 1 C, that means 1 coulomb per second. Now very small values of current are expressed in the following unit, as like we have seen earlier. 1 milliampere is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. 1 microampere, that is symbol, which is 10 raised to minus 6 ampere. The French mathematician and scientist Ampere conducted a number of experiments on electricity. Today we can measure the current flowing in the conductor only because of his extraordinary work. The unit of current is called ampere in recognition of his great work. Now there is one example numerical problem. A current of 0.4 ampere flows through a conductor for 5 minutes. How much charge would have passed through a conductor? That we will have to find out.